The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PSP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does now comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
Pleasant morning for some, afternoon for some, good night for some. But wherever, right, you are, I am saying welcome to another fabulous live Mystic Sensation. And of course, we have the melting pot here this morning. First and foremost, let me just do my usual chores in terms of greeting all my peeps in the chat. And of course, yes, here we are. Carla Ibanks, always early in class, you know, Carla. Big up yourself. And Beverly, right? They're always early in class. Derek Mackay, right? Miss Jam Upton, right? Lumi Coolman, Renee Swaby, Laverne P9R, and out of many one people, bless up yourself, and you know, Patricia, right, Bantan, right, love you all, my peeps, right, and for those who are coming in, right, you know, yeah, Kelvin Wiley, bless up yourself, bless up Melva, Lars, Nigel Taylor, big up. Right now, let me say this morning, right, we are going to be very much surgical because we have a lot of things to discuss. And remember, you know, Melting Pot and I always, right, you know, in terms of our investigation, know very well that, and we always speak in terms of the level of criminality within the Jamaica Labour Party administration. And it is indeed one of the worst administration in our history of politics. And this morning, what Melting Pot and myself plan to do this morning is to roll back the curtain and look in, right? So we are going to address topic like, of course, the Auditor General issue with ADPEM, right? People need to know much more about that and how calculated Andrew Holness is, right? This morning, I did not put Dushian and Savadia on the thumbnail because we have him to discuss detail, because wherever, and let me say this to Jamaica, and remember, everything that we have said so far as it relates to the corruption of this administration is now coming out, proving to be true. We have seen people celebrating that, you know, crime is down, murder is down, and we know, as it relates to how crooked, right, the operators of the system are, right, using all sort of categories to hide dead body and to mislead the Jamaican people. Now, Jamaica, you are going to see that what we are going to present, what we were saying all along, right, we were 100% right. If you remember, that my curiosity as it relates to how drugs, right, when our police officers intercepted, right, drug traffickers, what do they do with the drugs confiscated? What do they do with the guns confiscated? My Jamaican people, it is heart-rendering to know that the people who we have as police officers, people who we entrusted to protect and preserve, these are the very same people, right, who definitely contributing to crime and now becomes a major, people, I want you to listen to me, a major player, right, as it relates to the contribution of crime, our Jamaica constable. As a matter of fact, Andrew Ownless police force, I will not hesitate in saying that, right? When you have the Jamaica Constabulary Force politicized, showing signs of loyalty to the Jamaica Labour Party, it's wrong. Where you have Andrew Ownless micromanaging the Commissioner of Police and in extension micromanaging the police force in its entirety, it's wrong. It's a fundamental wrong. And that ought to be called out, right? You're going to see, the despicable nature of the beast this morning. We are going to reveal it. Before we do that, let me have Melting Pot meet and greet his wonderful people. Pot?
Yes, sir, Byron. As usual, pleasant good afternoon to everyone tuning into the Mystic Sensation Live. This afternoon program, we have very riveted and informative program. Because, we always try to bring credible information to the platform. I just want to big up everyone in the chat, as usual. Big up them people on the ground zero. Big up the people in the Kingston West. You understand? 2 Mile area. And as usual, big up everyone all right around the whole entire world who tune in to the Mystic Sensation Live. As you don't know, so we are going to do it to the maximum capacity. Because when we come and sit down at the hot seat, we have to reveal things that we, scroll through before coming on to the program, put together very informative package. And we will come and, as usual, we have a family reasoning. Go back to the host, Sir Byron.
All right. Thank you for that, Melting Pot. Jamaica, let me just build the background, right? One of the first issues we are going to touch this morning, because we have some serious subheading that we are going to touch, right? We need also Daryl Vaz to come in front of the class, right? Where we are going to present evidence as it relates to your MO. Let us leave that there until we get to you. Now I want to put Jamaica, Andrew Ownless police force, right, in play. For those who want to see Kevin Blake as gentleman of the year, kudos to you. Kudos to you, right? For me, is Andrew Ownless house slave, right? And carrying out the mandate of Andrew Ownless. Hence, that is the reason why Andrew Ownless has not been pursued to be charged and put in the judiciary where he belongs. Andrew Ownless himself knows that he should be in the judiciary, right? And the private sector of Jamaica, they know. The umbrella group of church, they know, right? I mean, civil society, of course, they know, right? Let me just talk to Pat, Sister Pat. Yes, Sister Pat. You're on call. Go ahead.
Yeah, before you start,
yes.
I have something where I me. I want you help me with it.
Okay.
Yeah, guess what more I help me with now?
Yes.
Child and Sylvia case. I don't know if you know what I mean. I preempt you, but that question me I ask.
Yes.
All right, as a private citizen, even say me, private citizen, if you have a case, a court, can the person get outside investigator if he come investigate it?
All right.
That's a question, man.
Okay, all right. That question is a bit vague, but I'm going to narrow something down for you, right? Because remember that the Jamaica Constabulary Force, by the, per Constitution, they are the one who have the legitimate right to do investigation. So to go out of the scope of that, right? That wouldn't be appropriate any at all. However, when it comes to scientific evidence, right, as it relates to might be pathologists, right, and other persons who have that technical skills, right, you can provide, the law permitted you to provide your independent person who you want to get, providing that they are certified in that area, just to bring clarity in terms of the findings.
So for instance, FBI.
Yes.
FBI work for private people.
No, no. The FBI. Remember, you have to understand when it comes to right certain laws, right. Every country that has a constitution, right, has become sovereign. It simply means it is the constitution that make you sovereign. So you have your own laws and you're governed by your own laws. So it is not like FBI can just come into your country like that. They can't. Now the government.
No, let me say like me want to like say me have a case.
Yes.
I mean, can afford. Can I employ it?
Okay. Now I understand what you're saying. So okay. I don't think you can do that if you're talking about the FBI, but private investigator like myself, yeah, you could employ like private investigator like myself, certified private investigator.
So and then can come from out of Jamaica. Anywhere we want to take them from.
Well, my certification give me certain access, right? But I would have to inform certain authority, right, as it relates to the nature of my visit.
Oh, so for instance, I just question we are asking.
Yes. Okay.
For instance, we know you as a private individual. So you have a body, you have a firm where you work with.
Yes.
So sign to that firm and that firm contact the Jamaican authority.
No, man, you can contact me personally. For me personally, if you are giving me a job in terms of private investigation, right? I don't work with a firm. I'm independent. My certification, you understand, is an independent certification to me. So you contact me personally. You don't go through a firm to contact me. You contact me personally. I am licensed, right, as it relates to the province, right? And I can act out of province as well.
Okay.
All right.
Because my little problem with me have
is
with Sylvia case. Deep in my belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, understand? Yeah, man is a male. But me have a guts feeling in my belly. Right down in my belly, in my womb. Say child and Sylvia get some farmer trick or some trick or something.
All right, Sister P, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you off ear when it comes to that. All right. All right. Yeah, we could have the conversation off ear. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, bless up.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let us begin our program as it relates to some serious, very serious subject matters that we are going to touch on. Right now, we are going to begin, of course, with the police force. Now, let me show the world as it relates to what is happening. It is alarming. Let me build the background. It is alarming Jamaica. It is alarming diaspora. Hi, Sister Winnie.
Good day, Mr. Mystic, and to your wife.
Yes.
And to Mr. Melton Pot. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, Sister
Tell me
Winnie.
something. The lady, Silvera Land, Beachfront, will her children, will their children get it?
Well, I don't want to just answer you off the bat, right? And I don't know detail of that information, and I will not mislead you. So I'm just not going to answer you off the bat without me privy to certain information. Fair enough?
Well, I think, sir, he never do away with his wife.
Okay.
He never did. You hear me? And that bridge property, deep down, I cannot say it here, but I know who is behind it. You hear?
Okay.
And he take a deal to save his children's life. To me, that's what I think. But Mr. Silvera never dash away his wife. And God, no, they're going to give him a 10 or 15 years, and the man going to what for? And a man who do away with
no, the sentence I pronounced, I think the sentence is 3 years.
Listen to me. Sir, if there is a God, and one day maybe I'm not, but we know who ordered that. Here, it's all for the land. It's all for the sea, the beach property. It's all for what your name is doing on it. Something smelling very, very bad. A rotten fish is about the place here.
All right.
Why you got so much land and things already? Why you want? Huh? And now this man is charged for something he never do. Why did he plead? Why?
Well, that's a question, Miss Winnie. That's a question. Why did he plead?
But you see, pressure, pressure is a bad thing, yeah? We all can say, if you locked up in a room and you can't see no one, and a little bit of bread and thing thrown to you, that can send anybody off their mind. The strongest man cannot survive pressure here. He never do it though. He never did it. He never did it.
Sister Winnie, look at
Thank
this.
You,
look at this. Let me just end by saying this. If you look at Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, Nelson Mandela never bowed because what he has been accused of, right, was totally wrong, and he never bowed to the system.
But he did at the end, though. The letter was something to at the end to get out. He did give in at the end with that letter.
Well,
thank you very much. Listen, the only person I loved was Winnie Mandela. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Winnie. Thank you. All right, love you, Sister Winnie. All right. Let us proceed. Now, sometimes when people have, people are passionate and they want their questions to be answered, right? It's okay. We allotted them that time to do that. Now, let us get into some serious matters now. So let me just build the background. When you have, as I said earlier, that you are depending on the Jamaica Constabulary Force, right, to be there as it relates to protect, right, and preserve, right, and yet they are the ones who are doing some serious situation. Drugs that they have been that have been seized, and I'm saying this now with strong evidence that I'm going to share this morning. It was alarming. My head almost blew. Even long time, I was asking the questions, what happened to the drugs and the guns that have been seized? How are they being processing out of the system? But to understand that the very same so-called policemen, right, who are fighting, right, drugs and fighting gun transshipment, they are the one who converting the drugs, right? Let me say some of them. I don't want to use a broad paintbrush here. Some of them are the very same ones, right, converting the drugs to their benefit, right, to enrich themselves through illicit means we just can't make this up. We can't make this thing up. And Andrew Holness, let me say this. Andrew Holness has never come out categorically, right, and speak seriously against, right, these drugs barons, right? And so then we have to call it out for what it is. Now, we have seen some changes making right now. Let me say this, Jamaica. I want you to think, right, with your cranium. Do you believe that Andrew Holness would have making certain changes to embarrass his government? No, Jamaica, I am telling you, and I want you to listen. Andrew Holness is under pressure from the United States. Now, they can try to use their spin machine, right, over NNN to spin, but they can't spin the facts. And people are seeing the changes being happening. When we say that extradition is on the DPP's desk, you notice that the DPP can't come out and deny that. The DPP know that we are saying it, right? The government can't deny that. So when they're using their their spin doctors to come out and spin garbage, and people, you are going to see things unfold. Look what I'm going to show you now, people. Let me show you that currently, right, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, beginning tomorrow, CTOC is going to be dismantled. Do you think that, okay, all right, it is Andrew Holness or it is Kevin Blake, right, who doing this? They are under pressure because external entity have many of them involved in serious drugs operation and gaining the benefit from drugs. So they are under pressure to make these changes. Now, let me show you by not just speaking, you know that when you come over here, this is Mystic Sensation, you are going to get the facts, right? And if I am wrong, I am not the main source. Let me go to the main source. Now, look at this, people. Let me show this for you all to read for yourself, right? This is not something that we are making up, you know. This is not something that we are making up any at all. Look at this, people. Let me share this. Quick and fast. Here it is. Remember, I told you how to search on people. Use up your Google search engine. Now, based on recent report, you know what? Let me see if I can expand that for you so you can see. I want people to see the evidence in terms of my reference this morning. I want to show the people that this is no joke, right? We are serious in terms of what we are saying and calling out. Andrew Holness administration is the most corrupted administration ever in the history of Jamaica. And I'm not trying, you know, I shouldn't be, you know, I am using source evidence to teach my people and show my people the truth. 100% truth and nothing but the truth. Now, based on recent reports, a major investigation is underway within the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Following the discovery of illegal cocaine inside the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, CTOC storage facilities. This is a crime shame. This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. It is not only the police officers are using this. Politicians involved. The Jamaica Labour Party politicians involved. It is embarrassing. The audit ordered by Deputy Commissioner of Police Richard Stewart revealed that 2 parcels of cocaine were unaccounted for following the January 8, 2026 arrest of CTOC Inspector Martin Walker within 5.8 kilograms of cocaine. Now, Jamaica, let me tell you this. It gone beyond 2 parcels, you know. It gone beyond 2 parcels. Yes. All right. Here's a breakdown of situation based on available information. Bulletin point number 1. CTOC reorganization. Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake has ordered the restructuring of CTOC and removed the Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division from CTOC's oversight. Then now, how could CTOC provide an oversight to Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division when you, CTOC, involved in drugs? And look on the embarrassment. You are the one who's supposed to provide oversight on the Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division, but yet, CTOC, you are the one who involved, and not only the inspector who get caught, right? It goes up, right? It goes up. It goes up as it relates to line supervision, right? And gone into the gazetted ranks. That's how far it has been traveled. Bulletin point number 2, personal transfers in the wake of the scandal. Assistant Commissioner of Police Dr. Anthony McLaughlin has been reassigned to lead the forensic service branches, and Superintendent Victor Barrett has been transferred to the crime and security portfolio. This is a blasted, this is so embarrassing to all of us, both home and abroad. Extremely embarrassment. Never yet under the administration of a Portia Simpson, never yet under the administration of a PJ Patterson, never yet under the administration even of a Bruce Golding, never under the administration of Edward Seaga, never under the administration of Michael Manley, nor Norman Manley in the history of our politics. But when you have someone corrupted as Andrew Holness, right? Anything can happen. It is a crime shame that we have a prime minister, right, who is leading the country, who cannot have his statutory declaration certified, right, as a result of illicit means. And now it is so evident that the police force that Andrew owns, right, as a prime minister, overseeing, right, is now involved in situations like this. Extremely devastating as it relates to we moving forward. The entire police force, right, needs to clean up. Because as long as Andrew Holness becomes a prime minister, still remain a prime minister, right, he will try everything to prevent any form of investigation within him. But as I said, my Jamaican people, time is longer than rope. God and time. And I want to special kudos to Pamela Monroe Ellis to be putting up a good fight in exposing the criminals, right, of the Jamaica Labour Party, right, and within the police force. Bulletin point number 4, corruption allegation. The investigation is currently focused on the breach of protocols and the involvement of officers in illicit activities. We are not the ones on social media who are just accusing them. The evidence is clear. The evidence is so clear. Give me a minute. I'm alive. Me can't talk now. I'm alive. Yeah. Right? The evidence is so clear. Now, body cameras, the JCF High Command has generally advocated for increased accountability with these investigations aimed at addressing corruption within the specialized unit. So hold on now. Hold up. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. So when we were saying all along that the body cameras needed, like when the police are engaging with so-called criminals as how they have it, and dealing with extrajudiciary killing, the body cameras never needed. When we were telling you to provide transparency and balance, and as a matter of fact, I want to talk, every time we push into a corner, we talk about, okay, we are going to get body cameras. As a matter of fact, administration eat off this money. Because remember, someone corrupted, Remember, someone corrupted, The amount of corruption that is going to come out. Jamaica, let me say this to you. Believe you me, Jamaica, it now past 2026, Just imagine, we are at February and the amount of E. coli that is coming out. I am telling you, Jamaica, be confident. Be confident that 2026, we are going to see happenings that is going to amaze us. Now, let me just stop share this and take this away. And before I bring in Melting Pot, me have to drop the bomb, Me have to drop the bomb on the people. Let me go for my phone. Because the way I get this information, my people, from top brass of the police force. And because I never do certain adjustment on this information, I am going to read it out. But I want to sit back. I want to listen. Now, let me say the first thing that was sent to me, right, and we should confirm to be true. CTOC to be disbanded coming Friday. The personnel to be transferred all over. Now, listen to this, people. Melton Pot, I think you have this, right? Yeah, Superintendent Marvin Brooks to be transferred to Era 3. Superintendent Victor Barrett to be transferred out of CIB. People who listen. Brooks and Barrett pull guns on each other at Constant Spring Police Station over drugs from CTOC. You hear that, people? You hear that? No, Melting Pot and laughing matter this. This is very serious.
No, it's serious. It's serious.
Brooks, let me repeat that, Jamaican people. I say when you get to know people, when you get to know coffee, man, when you line up this morning. Brooks and Barrett pull guns on each other at Constant Spring Police Station over the drugs from CTOC. A whole triple effect that having, because they have to tell Mystic Sensation, on God earth, that they have a system in place where all drugs being recorded, logged in the system, and you have them two criminal here. The fight over drugs when them get out of the storeroom. How did they get into the storeroom? How did they get into the storeroom to remove drugs, seize drugs? So if they are moving drugs, they are moving guns.
Definitely.
We want to see the danger of Jamaica under Andrew Holness administration, This is under Andrew Holness administration and his puppet who he has to lead as Commissioner of Police. And let me repeat it before I even go any further. Shame on those who speaking about Kevin Blake is to be Gentleman of the Year. You don't understand what is coming out now? How do you feel?
That me I say.
No found a bad mind and a bad mind Margolin. Film honesty and integrity. Bad mind and a bad mind. Yes. Bad mind. Film honesty and integrity. Him no inna one inna. So no want to pull him down. So when you come out and endorse the commissioner of police to be the gentleman of the year. To say what, okay, all right. Andrew Honest in extension is doing well. Kupa to. Kupa some to. Someone ungrateful. So,
Very much.
Someone who would defend Andrew Honest. I want you to listen to what they said this morning. Now, Brooks and Barrett pull guns on each other at Constant Spring Police Station over the drugs from CTOC. Then I saw the drugs money sweet. Superintendent, I call out them name. Peter Rowe from FNID have the footages from CTOC trying to destroy it. You can't destroy it. The cocaine was moved from CTOC by throwing it from upstairs to downstairs while two police load it in them vehicle. People want to see what they want. Want to see what they have. This is taking place in a CTOC itself, you know. SP Petre Rowe of FNID have the footages from CTOC trying to destroy it. You try to destroy it because we have here. You know,
come on, tell them to destroy it now.
Try. Now, the cocaine was moved from CTOC by throwing it from upstairs to downstairs while two police loaded in the vehicle. Now, Hollywood stunt this. Now, Hollywood movie this. Me never know say CTOC police them make deal with Hollywood. Now, Melting Pot, you have got to talk about it. You have got to tell me when you come on Melting Pot. What sort of deal CTOC police them make with Hollywood? Now, ask Richard Stewart where he obtained monies from building 2 apartments. Only one DCP, Clifford Blake, not involved in their drugs and corruption as he has been sidelined. All right, Clifford Blake, right? Luckily that you were sidelined. Operations in JCF, DCP Warren Clark has given orders that the operation teams must not wear body cameras. Whoa, Papa, I want to hear it now, people. Let me extend it. Must not wear body cameras as the killings of criminals must continue. Hey, Jamaica, I want to hear. I wonder if we can put up this stuff. Them no say some moment.
Read back the line there again to the people, Sir Byron. Read back that same line again.
People, see there, no, see me get it, you know. Nobody, no people. See that? No. Well, can't take no call now.
When you read back the line, they make them know who are order the police them not to wear the body cam. Read out that name there.
Me on my live, Orion. Me can't take no call now. Me on my live. Me can't take no call now. You hear? Yeah. All right. Now, DCP Warren Clark, sit here, people. Ask Richard Stewart where he obtained monies from building 2 apartments. Only one DCP, Clifford Blake, not involved in their drugs and corruption as he has been sidelined. Luckily, he has been sidelined. Operations in JCF, DCP Warren Clark has given orders that the operation team must not wear body cameras as the killings of criminals must continue. So they fully agree to carry out extrajudiciary killings on the Jamaican people. Mighty God of Daniel. So you know what we have to do now? We have to send this on, right, to relevant authorities who is going to deal with this particular report. We have to send it on. So then, the argument about body camera is a joke. Andrew Honest and the Commissioner of Police have already decided that they are going to operate out of the scope of a body camera. They don't want any proof. They don't want any proof, Jamaica. They want to go on the rampage of killing. We can't make up this. We are saying that we get the information by top brass because they don't agree. They don't agree with this. They are not in agreement with it. They want transparency. And I say, for people who back in and in this thing about Andrew Holness is doing good. So then you want to kill. Now, let me ask you a question, Andrew Holness and Kevin Blake. When you decided now to kill, to paint a picture for Andrew Holness that he's doing crime, while Andrew Holness is robbing the country, hey, look here, I'm not mince right around us saying now. We don't do it wrong, we don't do the thing around us saying now. You understand? We don't polish nothing around us saying now. And I am not going to be politically correct. We are going to call it a spade a spade. So Andrew Holness, Commissioner of Police, and uno continue to hide the Minister of National Security. Uno now send him up. Uno now process him thing fast and send him up. No matter how no hide it, things soon come out, Me say at 2026, uno now go further than 2026, No matter how no hide it, Now, when these road cops are transferred to other sections of the force, right, must the public trust them with sensitive information? No. This is what the person who sent the information saying, Why is the USA silent on the stewardship of Kevin Blake? Is it because he has a USA citizenship? Is that why a blind eye is being turned to extrajudicial killing? No, let me answer you. Let me answer you with this one. They have now, Andrew Holness government has now become a political spawn. We don't know, right, how much Andrew Holness, as a result of his corruption and as a result of him being compromised, how much of our sovereignty being sold out. Andrew Holness has been fully compromised and our sovereignty, Jamaica's sovereignty, has been sold out. I don't want to complain on that. I can't get it plain on that. Them know to you. Them know. Academia. No. A lot of people don't want to speak out, but they know. But them love when mystics speak. Them love when mystics speak. Why is the USA allowing the spin doctors in the JCF to manipulate the crime statistics and use police killings to cover up? Hey! So now I've been saying it. Now you have a senior gazetted officer who is also speaking out now. More will come out to people. More coming out to. Why is the USA silent on breaches of Geneva Convention by the JCF? Is it because Kevin Blake is a citizen of USA? Why the Leah Convention restriction arms and ammunition to JCF has not been done? What will the JCF do with those M16 rifles being used by CTOC that has been featured in several fatal shootings to include fraud? How are the backside this?
Yeah, man.
People don't hear that?
Yeah, man.
People don't hear that? The information coming out that these weapons being planted on persons, M16s that are within the system being planted on persons. Hey, Andrew Holness, everything that is happening, Andrew Holness, you are to be blamed. You are to be. Let me ask you a question. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, Andrew Holness. I'm asking you a question, and a very serious question I'm asking. Is your government using CTOC and other entities to convert the storage of drugs for you and other member of parliament benefits? I'm asking a question, not accusing you. Is that been happening? Question. These M16s have not been tested at the forensic lab. Want to hear that, people? Will the Governor General, will it go in general circulation to continue murdering the youths? Want to hear them something there? What social investment has the government of Jamaica made to curb crime? Nothing. He might tell lie. He might tell lie. They manipulate the figures. You understand? As some what these people in the society are back him. You understand? And look on the level of criminality that is coming out of the Andrew Owner's police force. Look on the level of criminality, people. Are we waiting to become a state like Colombia? Question. Since operations are planned, warrants are obtained, signed by JP, body cameras must be worn to aid accounting in light of the numerous extrajudicial killings such as Sherry Tree Lane, lead by Superintendent Cardoza, and the Windward Road killings of the 3 youths, among others. That means that him feature in a many extrajudicial killing. You know? Many extrajudicial killing. Him feature in, you know. Should the public take comfort and confidence in Kevin Blake when he has shown since 2023 that accountability is lacking and corruption is rampant? Has Kevin Blake eroded the solid platform laid by Anderson to allow corruption to take root throughout the force from top to bottom? When will the public be told about the theft of the cocaine and the attempts to cover up by way of fictitious disposal certification signed by DCP, Almighty God, Deputy Commissioner of Police Richard Stewart? I'm not telling the people say it down way up on the top there. I'm telling them say it down way up on the top, so the drugs and guns being seized. I know we say that, you know. This is coming from a top brass in the police force. Right? And you are telling me that Andrew Owner's police force is fighting crime? What a calamity in Jamaica. Father God, help us. Father God, I am asking you to please put your hand over Jamaica, because we are in a dire strait. Now let me put up melting pot, because we have serious things. Jamaica, we have some serious subject matter this morning, you know, understanding. Just line up on yourself, you know, on the mystic sensation, you can get it over here. And when we say it over here, so no guy can dispute it. No guy. All right, let me bring in melting pot. All right. Any caller who's hearing me now, I'm not taking any call. We are going to allow a session for callers to call in. Please, right? I will say just avoid all the call-ins while the program is getting on. We are going to allow, you understand, 15 minutes of session, you understand, for callers to call in. For persons who wanted to call, right? Just please hold it for now, right? We will open that time for calling. All right, melting pot, proceed.
Yes, so, you know, long time we have said certain things on the program. And I know a lot of people are listening to certain things. And I don't know, you know, what conclusion they arrive at, whether they are in favor of what we are saying or not. But this latest information that we gathered a few days ago, before even the official publication of the CTOC demise, was shocking, but not shocking to us. But in the sense of the whole entire information, yeah, that was sent to us, yeah, was shocking. But we were not alarmed, because we know for a fact that this is how the country was being run. The JCF was carrying out informal illegal commercial business. Yes, they were importing substance. Yeah, they were importing guns and ammunition, and they were conducting sales. Right? No two ways about that. Because when you hear of a drug bust or a gun bust or an ammunition bust, we have never seen any control damage. We have never seen how those illegal substance and items were processed out of Jamaica. So the public at large don't know anything apart from hearing about the findings. And we find that to be very, incompetent and non-transparent. But, over a period of time, things must come to bump. And in recent days and recent weeks, a lot of things have been coming to bump in Jamaica. And the implication of the JCF is alarming. The implication of government officials is alarming. So that tells the entire population, if they are listening, who is the culprit in the country, who are the people that are practicing high-level corruption within the country, using the state resource. Because the police, them use CTOC at a warehouse. CTOC was a warehouse, I have other warehouse as well. Feed, but also a warehouse. Yeah, the Coast Guard have for them one warehouse. Out at airport have them one warehouse. And down at the wharf have them one warehouse. So there are several warehouses that has been dotted across Jamaica that have the authority, are given the authority to hold contraband like cocaine, guns, and ammunition. And so the personnel working within these sector, they have been having a field day, getting rich, richer than Richie Rich. Now when you learn about Richard Stewart, who we know as the man from Hunts Bay was in charge to commission and run a death squad, killing several innocent Jamaicans. Now we recently learned that he has acquired 2 apartments. 2 apartments, my people. And he's also in the process of acquiring land made available to him by his spouse who works in the land authority office. Whenever you have your land and your land have delinquent tax on it, she submit it and him go do the paperwork and repossess it. So he become the owner. So you can't have an ordinary criminal like Richard Stewart, who is now seeking the pathway like what him said the Prime Minister and several high officials from within the Jamaica Labour Party is doing, amassing wealth. This is what Richard Stewart is doing currently. He is on the process of amassing vast amount of wealth that his current job does not give him entitlement to. So we are putting the Integrity Commission on high alert as it relates to Richard Stewart. Make sure know where I must submit. We not see 2 apartments. Yeah? Okay, and the land them. Alright. You have a guy named Petro from FNID. Yeah? Him no one damage, get rid of footage, CCTV footage from upper CTOC. And him them charged with a responsibility there, but we are warning you, piece of shit. We are warning you. Careful of your intended work. Because I don't know how them have you, yeah, in a JCF in the first place, but give you them high ranking posts here. When your brother, them know it's a big top druggist from down a Mobile. You understand? So we want to know how the country runs. So you could never be a policeman anywhere else in the world, you know, based on your family affiliation with contraband. You wouldn't get no job. But in a Jamaica, you have job and high position within the structure of the job. Yeah? So when we look on that now, we see that as major concern. But we could go further along the line. Brooks and Barrett. Yeah? War them a war over the cocaine in the people. That's all. Gun get involved. So you know them will kill the cocaine. Because it's lucrative to them. You understand? So when we see the whole cocaine spiral out of control in Jamaica, the JCF was a part of the importation team along with the private sector organization, them and government officials. No ghetto youth have anything to do with them importation of cocaine, guns, and ammunition. Government, private sector, and police are them for them business this. This is how the garbage them around the country. Them becomes the clique where you hear Michael Manley talk about. You understand? I remember them headquarters there, USA, you know. Yeah, man. Because the clique have a tie to the CIA, you know. So them feel like them untouchable. Because them have outside source about them as well. You understand? Yeah. Now, we have to look on some more critical aspect coming out of this thing that was submitted to us. Yeah? You have this guy, you know, Warren Clark. And him now at the resistance behind body camera, you know. And him a make the police them know say them if no want no body camera about ya. You them to continue get what? Slaughter. Yes. Now we have to make sure no so some real top decision is taken against this said individual. This said individual, he must lose his job. You understand? And he must be held accountable. Yeah? And he's a part of the death squad, you know. Yeah? Because the whole of them interlink, you know. You have him and Richard Stewart, you know. Because Richard Stewart is the man in charge of crime, you know. And him supposed to make that decision then at this piece of shit here when him Warren Clark. With Warren Clark, we have to give them order there. Alright. But here where we have the problem now. Here where we have the big problem now. Yeah? And this are the $1 million question when we have to ask some Jamaican. We soon run out. I don't know yourself, you know. I don't know why melting pot start call out on the name, you know. Because somehow have fame from when you're young. And travel the world. And know a good part of the world from bad part of the world. I want to meet good, credible people from when you're young. I sooner run out. I end us. The garbage commissioner of police. And I give him entitlement as gentleman of the year. But what I ask you today, how you feel? How you hear say, he mix up in all of this. When you hear say him get a $50,000 US Rolex watch. And you know who he might get it from. He might get it from a drug kingpin. How you feel? You must feel like shit. I remember me not pet and powder no. Me no business with affiliation no have. Me a call on out. I could have called on a name. Me want ask you today how you feel. Cause you run out. And I endorse this garbage commissioner as gentleman of the year. Him is judges of the year in our country. Which commissioner I don't know anywhere else in the world? We are run jug empire. Tell me now. That's why we say when I look on people and watch them color and them hairstyle and how them dress, you know. To label them whoever them want to be, you know. When you mix up in a them type of, you know, conversation here, when you supposed to know who are the good in your country, yeah, from who are the bad. When you supposed to watch the crime situation with vested interest as to how many youth has been killed, and when the investigation is being heard into the circumstance, is the same investigation line being used at several different murder crimes. Yeah, 9mm with 8 live rounds. But the victim now fire and him must have him 9mm with 8 live rounds and him take bullet. Yeah, but then when you come, I don't see the commissioner do nothing. But when you run out, I endorse him for gentleman of the year. The whole owner shit. All who endorse Google too as gentleman of the year. The whole owner shit house. I mean, no care what you want. Say, me no care who you want be. Me no business who not affiliated to. Who not shit house. Because you know from earth to everywhere go on in the country. Weed around yourself, fight the battlefield. And instead of you stand behind the mission and the movement, you know they play a corruption game. Because the whole of you love wealth, you know. You think you come to fix Jamaica and give back to the people who elect you and put in a house of representative. You don't come to enrich yourself. You don't have Jamaica interest and Jamaican interest at heart. On a pocket, on a bank account. And that all you don't have interest in her. Yeah? You think me can watch the youth them are dead with one line of report in all of the murder case them we are here about. I endorse the piece of garbage commissioner as gentleman of the year. Well, now the year say him get $50,000 Rolex watch from drugs kingpin. Now no know say him involved in a cocaine. The gun them will come in, them have them a sell them and a recycle them in a crime scene. The ammunition, police a sell them. The garbage police them. Because the good police them know some melting pot now. Attribute them conversation to them, you know. Guys, we couldn't get where we get. So you have real policeman where is not in favor of where I go on at the JCF. Not in support of the garbage commissioner. And them have close and view, close and knowledge. Them know where I go on. And at them we get what we forget from. So, once again, Jamaican elite society, we need to check on ourselves, you know. We now look on some people with them history of fame, but them are run out and a support a garbage commissioner, a criminal commissioner, and I endorse him as gentleman of the year. You know, mad. You don't need to go on side. Guys, if you not stand up for Jamaica and the people, if you not stand up for truth and right and justice, me no want soon, you know. You know shit. Me no business born of claim to fame. You know shit. Better you lock on them out. But you there a lend support on the guys behind this piece of garbage. Where I'm a gentleman of the year. You know see where I mix up in her. You know hear now where I mix up in her. Because you know they close round them, you know. Because you know reputable people in our society. But all you know want to do is just, you know, mash up Jamaica. Because of the self-gain ambition we want to have. Remember, you can't carry the money we want to amass to down in the grave, you know. We don't have to left it back same place out here, so. Yeah? So I don't know if we no penny wise or no pound foolish. We don't Andrew Wallace rock the boat, man. I don't know I deceive certain group of people in a society. But we don't mix up too much. We don't play too much members club in a Jamaica politics. And I deceive on the people them. How the people them need to start know about this. But I'm going to hold my peace for the time being. I don't want to drop certain information. I hold my peace. But me I watch you know. Me and my brother them I watch you know. Because I feel now go use me like so well then we are just some little waste man in the space. I speak on them program, but we not get nothing, no value for the work where we are putting in terms of seeing the organization and move in a one unison, yeah, trying to alleviate Jamaica the problem that Jamaica have. Jamaica have a big problem. Jamaica almost run like Colombia. An island we don't grow poppy. But yet still a place full of cocaine. We don't manufacture gun and ammunition. Yet still a place full of them there. We youth them are dead willy-nilly. Yeah? And the same farmer, you know, report against them. Them a gunman. Warrant issue. So-called warrant. Yeah? Because when you have a dead squad, you know, in operation, you cannot take anything at face value as what them say. Yeah? We don't know a look at 22-year-old, hard-working Jamaican, lose him life. Yeah? We say bigger than the pan him work and him lose him life. Just to come out of them custody. Them call him all prisoner. We see our next youth over St. Thomas, them have him in and out, and them put out the threat. And on the sad morning, the youth get ready for go work, and him lose him life. These are not gunmen. These are hard-working Jamaican young men trying to do something to better them life in a dilapidated society where the rich continue to get richer and the poor only get a thing called demise. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Byron.
Wonderful, wonderful punch, Melting Pot. And I want to make the people them understand, you know, that everything that's spit out of the mouth of Melting Pot and Mystic Sensation, it cannot test it, you know. You understand? Because over here is the burner that burn the truth, 100% truthfulness, right? Anyone want to challenge us? Tell them to try. Now, Jamaica, we are going to get into some more serious subject matter, which this is very serious because this has to do, right, in terms of the Prime Minister, high level of corruption. Now, I hold about the face of Dushian Savadia. And when we speak this, we are asking anyone who believes that they can challenge these facts that we are going to present, tell them to try. Now, the Auditor General has been opening curtains and we are looking in and see the level of corruption coming out of Andrew Owner's administration unprecedented. Unprecedented. Now, watch this now, Jamaica people. Let me take on through this because I am going to link something that a lot of persons not realize that, okay, all right, there's a fundamental link. ADPEM, again, is a fundamental link. Who ADPEM linked to? I'm going to show you the evidence in the paper. It's not funny, you know. It's to show you how Andrew Owners cannot contain himself with criminality. It is in his DNA, in his chromosome. Can't. Him is just a natural thief. Let me give you a background before we get into it. because the Auditor General now have windows opening on AdPem. Where am I going with this? So the windows that open in AdPem, I hope the Auditor General will listen to me too, you know. The windows that open into AdPem, listen to me. Go back. Something I'm going to remind you. Go back to how Dushian and Savadia came into Jamaica. Let me give you the history because I know it, you know, out of my brain. Dushian and Savadia came into Jamaica 2012. Right? He had suffered before reaching Jamaica waters. Not now go and film in India. Right? Run across the Caribbean, not now go and film in the Caribbean. Jamaica.
Well, man. Well, Sir Byron, not now go and film in England to him that left England. Put in that England a big country.
Not now go and film. Jamaica, I want to listen to this. I want to listen. 2012, Dushian and Savadia drop a Jamaica. And all of a sudden, in 2013, a friend from St. Martin, this is how him started, you know. This is how him claims him started. A friend from St. Martin just decided that, you know, Dushian Savadia sold me an idea and I'm going to start his business, and I gave him $540,000 US. Think of what I'm saying, people. Think of what I am saying. That the idea that you sold a friend, right? You're not technologically savvy, right? But yet, the friend bought into the idea in terms of giving you $540,000 US. Jamaica, let me say this because I know it is going to happen. Dushian Savadia is the face of Andrew Honest. Dushian Savadia businesses belongs to Andrew Honest and Juliet. Amber Group belongs to them. They are silent partners. This is the reason why they are getting the contracts. Because they are the silent partners. And Dushian Savadia connected strongly with the Jamaica Labour Party, washing the money for the Jamaica Labour Party and Andrew Honest. Let me show you our connection. Listen to this. Listen to this, Jamaica. Tell them, in terms of what I just uttered, to disapprove what I just said. Them can't come out. So we have cut the bottom and leak it out. Dushian Savadia is the face of Andrew Honest. Where Gavin was the face of Andrew Honest between the period 2007 and 2009, Gavin has been busted. The new face is Dushian Savadia. I'm going to show you how Andrew Honest is working him through the system for money laundering purposes. Now, let us look at this. Let us go to this. We are not playing today, no. Well serious, you know. Well serious around us, you know. We're not playing. Now, let us share this, people.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News for Wednesday, February 4. I'm Carrie Simpson. A special welcome to our viewers on YouTube, TVJ International in the Cayman Islands, and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Serious security failures uncovered on Support Jamaica platform in Auditor General's report. New information unveiled in Joyland Silvera trial. And later in sports, West Indies lose T20 World Cup warm-up. A real-time audit into the government's Hurricane Melissa relief program has uncovered serious security failures on the Support Jamaica website, raising concerns about the protection of donor funds and personal information. The details were tabled in a document in Parliament Tuesday.
2025 storm to manage donations and volunteers. But auditors say the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management (ODPEM) operated the system without approved information security or access control policies. 8 external users were granted access with no documented approval, while at least 2 individuals, including the head of entity, were given full super admin privileges without justification. Audit logs for most accounts were missing, limiting accountability. The report also flags breaches of the Data Protection Act, where ODPEM failed to appoint a data protection officer and did not verify whether the private developer met required security standards. By January 2026, nearly 17,000 people had donated through the platform. Auditors warn the failures expose sensitive data to misuse and are calling for urgent reforms to prevent a repeat. Auditors are now calling for urgent corrective action following major security failures on the government's Hurricane Melissa donation platform. The report recommends that ODPEM immediately implement a formal access control policy requiring written justification and approval for every user account. Access should be limited strictly to job roles with high-level super admin privileges, tightly monitored and regularly reviewed. Auditors also want a central log for all account approvals, changes, and removals, and mandatory deactivation of access once duties end. In addition, ODPEM is being urged to demand independently verified proof that the private developer complies with required data security standards to protect the personal and financial information of thousands of donors and volunteers. The auditors warn that without swift reforms, public trust in the future disaster relief efforts could be seriously undermined. Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
It's right there, Jamaica. Let me stick sensation tidy knot for you people. Let me stick sensation tidy knot for you. I'm going to show you something, Jamaica. We catch you where you're sleeping. We know where you're sleeping. Now, Jamaica, who you think created the setting up for ODPEM? Question. Who do you think created the setting up for ODPEM? The face of the corruption, Dushian Savadia. Am I lying, Andrew Honest? Kevin Blake. Am I lying? To the entire Jamaica. Am I lying? Dushian Savadia set it up. This is not the only time that Dushian Savadia failed. You know what Dushian Savadia set up also? The COVID-19 app that has serious security data breaches. And Dushian Savadia repeated this again. Andrew Honest used him again. So there is no checks and balance. The purpose was to defeat checks and balance. Andrew Honest using Dushian Savadia to do that. Now, let me stop and talk and give the evidence because too much long talking. Let me show you. Let me tie it for you. Now look on these people. Let me get it, people. I want to make sure, hold on. Let me just get it up here. All right. Share that. Now, people look at this. So what Mystic Sensation is saying, you know, we take time to investigate and tie the knot and bring the evidence to our people. Amber Group bills and donates Jamaica National Disaster Management System in 29 hours. Martin Pat, do I prove the point?
Definitely 100% correct, Sir Byron.
Jamaica, here it is. Amber Group bills and donates Jamaica's National Disaster Management System in 29. See them there? Come here, Jamaica. See them here? I want to look upon them. Look upon them. Criminals. It is Andrew Wallace who won the business. Andrew Wallace is a silent partner. Andrew Wallace, come out and tell Jamaican people that you are not, no? And that you have no ties as it relates to Dushian business. Because Dushian, Savadia have no business.
None whatsoever.
Who loan? Let me ask you a question, Andrew Wallace. Who loan Dushian Savadia $450,000 US dollars? No money want to give him to wash. No money want to give him to wash. Eh? Now the criminal network that Dushian Savadia involved in. So Big Mama, now that's why Big Mama emerged with Big Mama and the connection not in the syndicate. Want to see why Big Mama, they sing? Because Dushian Savadia now becomes Big Mama boss. Which is right, really and truly, Andrew Honest is really Big Mama boss. People
definitely.
Because Dushian Savadia not really own anything. He's a face for Andrew Honest, washing Andrew Honest money. As Hurricane Melissa bore down on Jamaica last weekend, a team of software engineers, designer, data analysts, and cybersecurity specialists at Amber Group worked tirelessly for 29 straight hours. Their mission to give the country a fighting chance to coordinate disaster relief, protect lives and mobiles. Mission, you understand, is to set up breaches of policies and rob all of the money, all of the things that are going on at them. Andrew Honest, you see you're beaten. You see you're beaten. Now, let me show Jamaican people, you know. Let me show Jamaican people something. I don't play around here now. Me say me not play around here, so. Now, Jamaica, let me show you this. I don't think me in a non joke around here, so. Me no in a non joke. Let me show you that the Auditor General zoom in on this. It is not the only breach. Dushian Savadia had breached our system as it relates to a COVID-19 app that he had set up. And when he set up the app, he claimed that he set it up for free. Let me show you something. I'm going to tell you something, people. Christopher Tufton came out and said he was not paid. I, Jamaican people, went on the JAM portal. Right? For people who don't follow me, people can tell you. I went on the JAM portal and found the contract that given to Amber. And Amber was paid over 3 to 4 million Jamaican dollars to set up the app. While Christopher Tufton coming out and said, no, he do it for free. Lie! Lie! Now, let me finish with this, you know, and then we get to Daryl Vaz, you know, because serious situation with Daryl Vaz, you know, when you touch him, you know. Now, let me get into this to show the people evidence that we don't just come out and just talk and make loose talk around us. We back our talk and defend our talk. You understand? And I mean, it cannot be disputed. Cannot be. Now, watch this. Let me show you the evidence, Jamaica people. We are not. Here it is. Let me bring it up to my Jamaican people so you can see and understand what Andrew Honest is doing through Dushian, Savadia, effing up Jamaica country, robbing taxpayers. Andrew Honest, it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. Amber Group has fixed a second security lapse that exposed private keys and password for the government Jam COVID app and website. You never know something go dig for this. You don't never know something go dig for this. The Auditor General will open up certain things and also me help the Auditor General and show the Auditor General a history, a MO, modus operandi between Dushian Savadia and Andrew Honest. It is Andrew Honest inner workings. You understand? The face of Dushian Savadia is representing Andrew Honest and corruption. A security researcher told TechCrunch on Sunday that the Amber Group left a file on the Jam COVID website by mistake. It wasn't by mistake, by deliberate, which contained passwords that would have granted access to the backend systems, storage, and database running the Jam COVID site and app. The researcher asked not to be named for fear of legal repercussions from the Jamaica government. This file, known as an environment variables file, is often used to store private keys and passwords for the third-party services that are necessary for the cloud applications to run. You, Dushian Savadia, had done this. Here's the evidence. A lie me I tell? Eh? Well, if I lie me I tell enough to shut down the source where I get the information from. Right? That's how it go. You have to shut down the source where I'm getting the information from. So we are telling you and exposing you to Jamaican people so that they can understand and better understand. You understand the behavior between Dushian Savadia, Andrew Honest, right? As it relates to even ADPEM, right? Many of the resources as it relates to the benefits that we are getting going through ADPEM. Let me tell you something, Jamaican people. Don't fool ourselves. Don't fool ourselves. Many of the assistance that Jamaican get will not be going to the Jamaican people. Will not be going to Jamaican people. Andrew Honest is finding ways and means to convert many of those goods into cash that leads to his pocket. They are scammers. They are scammers. I showed you all the billions of dollars that Andrew Honest collected and only willing to give $10 billion a drop in the bucket. Even when you drop it in the bucket, you can't find it. This is what Andrew Honest is doing. Vicious. Also, what he's doing is first and second administration as it relates to his level of criminality. People, I want you to listen to me. His level of criminality and the amount of corruption, you understand, and stealing that they have done. They are trying to use, you understand, the hurricane, right, situation, right? The people, suffer the people by the people's circumstances, taking away the benefits from the people, try to convert it, right, to stop up some of the gap of their pilfering that they had done in their first and second administration. The mistake that they are making this time around, the opposition have the PAC and the PAAC. And so then some checks and balance is going to provide in that. And plus, we are here on social media is going to provide some checks and balance on that. Let me say this to the Jamaican Labour Party. You will never get away with this. Right? Regardless you coming out and your spin doctors, you will never, ever get away with this. We are going to hold you accountable. Let me bring you a melting pot in this space. Pot?
Yes, sir, Byron. And to our people. Yeah, I have one major concern, the amount of photograph when me I look on with the Prime Minister with this guy, Dushian Savadia. As a businessman and as a Prime Minister, you can't be seen in so much communication at various different levels. Yeah? And just take another look. We have established businessman, long-standing businessman in Jamaica. You don't see the Prime Minister around them. But this garbage will just come at the place just for there. Him round him, plea, clock. Him roll out a red carpet, get this piece of shit here we come from India. Turn this garbage into an ambassador. Yeah, be a company where exists already 2 places in the world. Japan and Singapore. Yeah. And this have the original Amber Group. So them know what them a do when them name them thing Amber. Because it go intertwine with existing Amber. This is a shell company Andrew Holness a run with this guy. And that is why the Amber will exist in Jamaica. It does not listed on the Junior Stock Exchange or the International Stock Exchange. So it not depend on the local stock exchange, right? The Jamaica Stock Exchange. You can't find it nowhere on there. But it's a multi-billion company, you know. But it's not listed neither locally nor overseas. You hear which part of the garbage say him get the money from St. Martin. Then, oh, you man from St. Martin, we can't see you man there. In a no photo app.
Exactly. Solid point.
Oh, Andrew only see a par with. And then Andrew only scared the start. Piece of shit house.
But I'm a power with him because I him give him the start.
Andrew gave him the start. Andrew gave him the money for wash. Using Amber Group as the face of them shell company. Because them know say there is 2 Amber already that existed. One in Singapore and one in Japan. Yeah, but my Jamaican people, this garbage, you know, look how big India big and the size of them economy and them can't make life there. Him come a UK, him could make life a UK. And him been to several other countries. But look who's part him find a nest for rest in Jamaica, you know. It tell you, my Jamaican people, that there is something significant about Dushian Savadia being in Jamaica. And what the significantness is all about, is about him coming to work and replace Robert Gavin. This piece of shit house here is the one who replaced Robert Gavin.
Excellent point.
So Andrew can't fool we. Andrew, you say you're the greatest chess player. You're not playing no chess yet, man. You can't deceive a melting pot, you know. Or a mystic, you know. Look how you fool. Look how many photographs I show you and this individual here together. Your business partners come out and say it. But you know it's not legit. The business not legit, so you can't say it. Jamaican people are the worst prime minister this anywhere in the world. Here, I'm sorry to say, but I preside over Jamaica day-to-day affair. So right now, Jamaica in a bad state of affair. Yeah? Because where Andrew Holness is concerned, he's just a 5-star criminal. Not a prime minister material. Not surplus to requirement. God, Jamaica people are getting nothing from him, you know. 4 months into the newly commissioned at PEM. What we are hearing coming out? Corruption. 4 months, you know, people. And the newly formed at PEM now become a subject of corruption. First of all, him take a guy from the army, Alvin Gale, and put him there. And have a guy named Richard Thompson, who was in charge of ADPEM, tutoring this Alvin Gale. What can go so? Then there is no trace of procurement into what comes in and what goes out of ADPEM. The People's National Party leader, Sir Mark Jefferson Golden, frankly made recommendation of having an independent committee to oversight the ADPEM operation as it relates to the hurricane relief that is coming into Jamaica. Because it must carry checks and balance. It must carry checks and balance. And what the garbage Prime Minister do, in pay scant regard Sir Mark Golden idea and, don't even give it any form of, entertainment. Never entertain it. Him just go ahead, decommission the whole ADPEM and put in place a newly formed ADPEM with a novice in charge. Novice! And so the auditor now is having problem already 4 months. So you can imagine if a newly formed entity like ADPEM can show crack and frailty within 4 months. You imagine the decade where Andrew preside over Jamaica and a crack, a precipice. A precipice, that's why you see it up now to the extent that 3 trillion gone from one sector. Yeah? As it relates to government procurement. 3 trillion. Yeah? Precipice them up now in Jamaica with the stealing. Yeah? So we have to look on the whole administration. Yeah? I know say that criminal administration around the country. And who is to be blamed? Who is to be single-handed out? The garbage leader. The garbage leader. The puss where we have in Jamaica. We have go through every look and cranny corner and steal from the poor people. That puss we have to talk about. That pussy guy will call himself the Prime Minister. We say him come from the bowels of the poor. We track every move he make when him walk in our politics. And him no make one right move all now. A pair move. People when him go around a Waterhouse, and say a member of parliament round the side, the man set up some foundation, And the nastiness when him have around him at the time, Robert Gavin. You know the amount of money where them steal around there, so using those charitable foundation. And look for them constituency, say not never spend it. And him say him set it up to provide assistance to the constituency. Just look for them constituency. Every bit of money will come in at Jamaica and you thief it. Him have to. Him cannot resist thieving the money. Because remember, Andrew is a demonic prime minister. Mix up in a lodge. Mix up in a cultism. Satanicism. Demonicism. Sacrificialism. Isn't this the way Jamaica running right now? My people, I want to tell me, I want to put the comment in the chat, Say melting pot, you not talk the truth. And also Jamaica run. We see a different Jamaica. My people, Jamaica is run under the system of large administration, large commission. And so what is happening in Jamaica today, it must be a cause for concern amongst the Christian community. But instead they wrap up with the Prime Minister, all of them in a Andrew back pocket and a fleece out time wallet. Cause them a get kicked back to you know. To hush up their mouth. They must have seen that Jamaica is under science administration. Do we want a country to be pinned under corruption of science like the Lawrence? Where we children blood just a run like river water all over Jamaica? Because when government tie themselves to these organizations, they have to pay a sacrifice. Jamaican people become the sacrificial lamb for the Andrew Wallace administration. And it's time we open the eyes and recognize that silence is consent. So Jamaican people, it's time when you come out, you know. When you hear melting pot come around, you start lift off the pot cover and I let out the steam and the scent and the sensation, you know. When you grab it and run with it. Because I come telling you not where I don't know about. How can a head of state run his country using the ingredients of science? Corrupted science that render a package of sacrificial as the donation for the contribution to the administration of science like the Lawrence Lodge cult. Just look who you see in the round, man. In the round, Kevin Smith, you know, see how Kevin Smith perform. Who used to bat Andrew from him head to him toe? Kevin Smith. What Kevin Smith do? Cut off goat throat, drink the raw blood, cut people throat, more than one, casting mayhem. We not see what kind of leader we have in the country. So we can't continue and hold on upon this coattail and make him flash the shit in our face. If I that to no one, I that to no get. Because remember, Andrew have not more to offer Jamaica. I rest my case and kneel back the floor to the host, Sir Byron.
All right, Jamaica. When we see champion like Damian Crawford said one by one, they will be going to jail. It's no joke. It's no fragrance language. It's reality. And let me say it again. Kudos, right, to Pamela Monroe Ellis, right, the Auditor General, right, and all those who are fighting in the background to hold up Jamaica. We are going to hold Andrew Wallace accountable. My people, let me say this to you before I get into the other serious topic. I want you to hold the faith. I want you to continue to believe in us. It is you that providing us the energy. But I want for you to do your community networking. Share the information, educate our people as it relates to this particular government. Education is the key. And we have to spread the message. Spread the message. We need to march against this government peacefully. Let me use that adverb carefully, because I don't want Andrew Wallace police force to set upon our people to cause one life. We have to get this government out of power and we have to galvanize. And why we are doing it? Why we are doing it? Everyone knows that it's a rhetorical question I'm asking, so I'm going to answer it. We can't have someone who are the helm of our politics, number one, who's supposed to lead the country as it relates to honor, integrity, checks and balance, and accountability. And he cannot have his statutory declaration certified. That alone, that item, that particular item alone, we should not allow Andrew Holness to go any further. We have to have a peaceful march against this government. We can't accept that. We can't accept that. That is a fundamental thing in Andrew Holness' way. Now trying to communicate with the field investigators that you want to have some clearance. Look, let me say this to you plain, Andrew Holness. If you have not gotten any form of clearance from way back when, you will not get it now and in the future. It simply means that FID have something over there that really rumbling their headspace. If FID could have set you free, they would have come out and they would have set you free because they know that this is an hindrance in your governance. Jamaica, think critically. It is a very serious accusation as it's really going against Andrew Holness. Why would FID, if he sent his friend over there and his friend cannot help him? You must know Jamaica. It is serious. Remember, you're talking about the Prime Minister who has to do the people's business. This is one of the things that you want to free up so that the Prime Minister can go and do his business and so that at least confidence can build in the market. Think of what I'm saying, people. Andrew Holness is at a pivotal point where the country needs that confidence. External entity who will be doing business with Jamaica, that is going to stifle business confidence because there is a dark cloud hanging over his head that he is a criminal. Cannot be trusted. My question, why would FID have that over the Prime Minister lingering on with it? Let me ask another question. Why the Prime Minister Integrity Commission investigators, corruption body, the body that deals with anti-corruption, going against the Prime Minister? Why? This time I'm not speaking to Big Mama. I am not speaking, as a matter of fact, I am not speaking to anybody who involved in corruption. So Big Mama and NNN, please take on yourself out of my questioning. Me not talk to you. You understand? You are corruption. I am talking to critical thinkers. Now, why is it that the issues around the Prime Minister's statutory declaration cannot be clarified for the people of Jamaica so that Jamaica can move forward as it relates to business confidence? It is affecting the business confidence. The Prime Minister at some point in time have to do that introspection, go in front of a mirror, Andrew Holness. So when you come out and you speak anything against corruption, it simply means you're a hypocrite. You are not to speak because you have no moral authority. You have lost your moral compass. As a matter of fact, let me start to dig into the business because we don't like the long chatting enough. Now, let me just move to the next thing because I want the people whosoever drinking coffee and relaxing. Remember that when you are in the safety of Melting Pot and Mystic Sensation, you're extremely safe. And when we give you information out there, you are extremely powerful because guess what? They cannot dispute it. Now, and we are giving you evidence so that you can, aid the process in disseminating the information as well. Let me show you the bangarang. When we say one by one, they are going to jail because now, guess what? The fraud squad, the full fraud squad has been called in UWI. Let us get into that and bite into that. Boy, Andrew Wellness, boy, may I tell you something, sir? Boy, your level of corruption is something else, right? Now let us go with this and show the people. Now here it is, my Jamaican people, right? Melton Pot, are you seeing this? Tell me now.
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Now, the University Hospital of West Indies Board of Management on Tuesday said it has reported to the police fraud squad and Jamaica Customs specific matters from the Auditor General's department audit report, which flagged the hospital for a raft of contract procurement breaches and misuse of its tax-exempt status for the benefit of private companies, which have cost the country hundreds of millions of dollars. Disgraceful. Disgraceful. The board made the revelation hours after the AGD audit performance report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday said its probe revealed considerable deficiencies in the UWI's governance, procurement, and contract management process, which, if not addressed, could increase the risk of corruption and undermine UWI ability to deliver quality healthcare services. Remember, Jamaica, for all those people who continue to follow me, I always say, as it relates to how Andrew Honest, right, garnered some of his wealth, is a breach of the procurement rules and guidelines through the process of direct contract and emergency contract in a convenient way. When you want to steal, you use direct contract and emergency contract. In areas where we need to use the direct contract and the emergency contract, he doesn't use it. Let me give you an example in terms of what I'm talking about. All right, the hurricane relief, right, on certain things, and where NHT is concerned, right? He could use direct or emergency contract because it's an emergency situation. You understand? To definitely assist people who have lost their house. He has not gone there. But look at some of the things that he wants to steal, that he used emergency contract, right? And direct contract on. Things like, of course, giving permission to Daryl Vaz, the 110 school buses, right? Corruption, as it relates to direct procurement, right? So then this is how you have to understand as it relates to Andrew Honest move. Anytime you want to steal, right, he used direct and emergency contract conveniently in the benefit of him and his pockets. Okay. The board made the revelation. All right, okay. With the tabling of the report, the board has moved to further accelerate and formalize actions that were already underway. A comprehensive review of our procurement system referenced in the report has been directed with a focus on identifying root cause and strengthening controls to safeguard transparency, compliance, and value for our money. Let us take this document away and let us get to Mr. Daryl Vaz. Right? Yes, I want to really get to Daryl Vaz. Daryl Vaz, come in front of the class, quick and fast. I'm going to bust your bubble today. Now let us visit over the spin machine and show you what is happening over there. And of course, we will take it where they left off. Let us get over to the spin, Andrew Honest spin machine. Andrew Honest, we know that you're the silent partner as it relates to Big Mama Station merge into Revo. Because we know that Revo really belongs to you. Right? So we can tell the people I'm playing. We are not hiding it, you know. So, okay. Let me get into the document. All right. Let us hear this.
This is nationwide at 5. The real big show, the company's flagship program. Welcome to all of you on the 90 FM band. And if you are joining us over there on YouTube, top of the afternoon to you as well. Good to have you with us. We're inside the cover story. And in the cover story, we want to turn our attention to the Auditor General's report on procurement, in response to Hurricane Melissa. Some concerns are being raised by the Auditor General, and according to our reportage, which you've heard earlier in the newscast, a real-time audit conducted by the country's Auditor General, Pamela Monroe Ellis, has raised serious concerns about the management and operation of key aspects of the Homeless Administration's response to Hurricane Melissa. In a report tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, that is today, Mrs. Monroe Ellis cited governance failures, weak oversight, and overall breaches of the procurement rules. She's warning that the shortcomings in management systems undermined transparency and accountability during one of Jamaica's most expensive disaster relief efforts. Here's Siobhan Campbell with our initial report, and then we'll read excerpts from the report as tabled in the nation's parliament.
The 28-page report is the result of a real-time examination of how resources were managed under the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative. Focus was placed on the National Disaster Fund, emergency procurement by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, and the acquisition, distribution of Starlink devices and inventory management practices. The report found that the National Disaster Fund Committee, NDFC, the statutory body responsible for overseeing the fund, has not fulfilled its mandate. The committee last met in June 2022. Its term expired in September 2023, and no replacement had been appointed as of December 2025. Mrs. Monroe Ellis says this placed the management of the fund outside the framework required by law. The Auditor General says Section 40 of the Disaster Risk Management Act requires the Financial Secretary to approve withdrawals from the National Disaster Fund after consulting the NDFC. But at the time, the Director General of ODPEM requested $350 million for Hurricane Melissa relief. No committee had been appointed. The audit also flagged weaknesses in emergency procurement practices. ODPEM awarded contracts valued at $85 million for hurricane supplies, but failed to publish the contracts on the Government of Jamaica Electronic Procurement GOGEP platform within the 1-month deadline mandated by law. The Auditor General says a sample of the contracts found that all but one was in line with the procurement guidelines. The total sample was valued at $81 million. One of the most significant findings related to the $12 million procurement of 200 Starlink satellite internet devices. The Auditor General found that the purchase was initiated by the instruction of the Energy and Telecommunications Minister, Daryl Vaz, rather than by the head of the procuring entity. This, she says, was contrary to the Public Procurement Act. The devices were also delivered on November 14, before procurement documentation was completed, with key forms prepared retroactively on November 19. Auditors also found that many of the Starlink devices procured were not used. Physical inspection conducted at 8 entities revealed that all 41 devices issued remained unused and in storage. Additionally, 5 entities did not record the Starlink devices in their asset inventories, and 3 municipal corporations reported that the devices had not been entered into municipal inventory listings, but were issued directly to the respective councillors. A further inspection of 41 devices observed that all the units were equipped with European 2-pin electrical plugs, requiring adapters for use. Mrs. Monroe Ellis says as of January 6, 2026, 80 out of 200 Starlink devices remained in storage at the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The audit also found that food items, tarpaulins, and water valued at nearly $60 million were not recorded in ODPEM's inventory system, despite earlier audits warning about similar weaknesses.
Okay, let me stop and take this away, right? And speak to my Jamaican people, right? In terms of what transpired. This is what I do every day in terms of my work, right? And I work with some of the biggest firms in the world. These products that have gone into ADPEM, right? To the fact that they have not entered into the inventory list, it simply means that they can be stolen without trace. You see, Andrew Wallace clever. You saw Andrew Wallace, the reason why Andrew Wallace put that piece of person who they collaborate with him in charge. Because it is his core responsibility. Let me set them straight. Let me set all of them straight. Come six sensation. You understand? As a matter of fact, I manage and supervise these processes. Every item that comes in has to be logged in the system for checks and balance. So then if you have 200 soda comes in and you don't record the 200 sodas that comes in, right? It simply means the sodas are not a part of your inventory because it is not listed. So then it can be stolen without trace. If the items listed, you have to give an account as it relates to if you have 300 items come in and you wrote those 300 items down and said 100, right? Processed through sales, you're going to see the 100 that processed through sales. So you're supposed to have 200 back in your inventory, right? And so then now you can go and you can do an audit, you can do a physical count, or if you have a perpetual inventory system, you can use that. I want to just explain it to show you how Andrew Wallace corrupted it and what Andrew Wallace is doing, through ADPEM. And that is one of the reasons why he put, you understand, that baboon there, because they are partners in crime. Listen to me. Partners in crime also where Dushian and Savadia is concerned. Now listen to me now, Jamaican people. This is what a lot of people, and this is what I don't like. They know what happened. I am going to tell you what happened to the Starlink. Roughly about 700 Starlink came into the country. Go into a system unrecorded, giving them the opportunity to steal it. But you know what bad about it, Daryl Vaz, when we go bust your bubbles to the arm today? Is that the Starlinks that were given to support the Jamaican people who need it. You took now 200 of that, create a fake procurement process. Let me ask a question, Daryl Vaz. Can you tell us who you purchased it from? You can't. Because where you get these Starlinks are out of the Starlinks that you have gotten put in ADPEM that was not registered, was not listed into the inventory. So now you want to come out now and take out the Starlink, you understand, create fake procurement for rob taxpayers. Them fuckery if you stop. Them if you stop. And that is what you're doing. And let me tell you, Jamaican people, something about Daryl Vaz MO. Whenever Daryl Vaz thief and you catch him, take it from me and I'm going to play the clips and show you. Whenever Daryl Vaz stealing and you catch him, you know what him do? Appeal to some sympathetic situation. And you know that people like, you know, wanted it to help their cause, and the government of Jamaica, we do that because we understand the cause of the people and we help them. It is the very same behavior he had done with the school bus. You know, we want to help the rural schools. Just listen to the pattern, you know. You know, we want to help the students. And so then we have to do it in the interest of the student. You have to do it in the interest of your fucking pocket. And Andrew Holness' pocket. And everything that you thief, Andrew Holness have to get a piece of it. That to stop. You're a criminal. You and Andrew Holness. You, Daryl Vaz, is the trigger man for the sticky finger. You, Daryl Vaz, you need to go to prison. Now, let me show you something, Jamaica. So, I build the background for, to make you understand. I'm going to play the clip to show you that he had gotten the Starlinks free. And you know, go back now, the thief out. Create false procurement. This is wrong, Jamaica. Look on it. And what? A blind that we don't see it? Come on. We need to call a spade. Call out Daryl Vaz. Let him hand over the purchase order. Hand over the fucking purchase order and we can investigate the people then. Hand over the purchase order, Daryl Vaz. You bag of wind, bag of shit that come out of your mouth. Hand over the purchase order. Who you think you can fool? Sorry, my people. We just want you to understand the grief in terms
beat
of
it, man. Them know I beat it, Sir Byron.
You know,
yeah, the people them good with that, man. Beat it,
continue
man.
to take such an advantage of the Jamaican people. So freaking out of order. So, you know, it hurt me in so many ways. Now, listen to this piece of garbage. Listen to this, people.
Of the procurement guidelines, and the documentation that I have released shows that clearly. And secondly, if it is that my timely, effective action as Minister of Telecommunications and co-chair of the Cabinet Subcommittee for the Melissa recovery was beneficial by getting help to those affected persons, whether saving a life, getting food to them, whatever it is, I make no apology whatsoever. As a matter
Okay, stop right there, sir. This, as it relates to our investigation, is Daryl Vaz MO. Whenever he steal, he try to appeal that he's helping others. He's not helping any other. It is the same behavior he had done with the school bus. Deflect right away. You understand that it is his sense of care that he's caring for people. And so then in terms of that, I have to fix the situation because, you know, I am empathizing and sympathizing with those people who in need. Daryl Vaz, let me ask you a question. Please, we are asking you to show the damn purchasing order of the Starlink. That's all I want to hear from you. We understand your MO. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. We are not going to make you cement your MO, your modus operandi, your behavior, your criminal behavior. You're a chronic thief. You're a chronic puss. Right? Now, Jamaica people, now, look here. Let me show you nothing. We are not going to make him get away with it, you know. Because I don't know who you think you can fool. Right? Look at these people.
Colleague, ministers, permanent secretaries, Jamaica, and the diaspora.
People, listen good. This is where he get the Starlink for free. Listen.
So again, I want to update the nation on where we are and assure you once again that restoration is moving steadily forward. Digicel has restored 46% of its mobile sites, with 86% of fixed networks and 75% of business connections now back online. Service was restored in Santa Cruz, Falmouth, Spurtree, Bevan, and Rose Hall within the past 24 hours. I don't need to tell you how huge that is in terms of getting connectivity in those areas. Over the past 48 hours, additional Starlink kits were allocated to organizations providing essential assistance to Jamaica impacted by Melissa. I want us to stop again to thank Starlink, who have a team, an emergency response team stationed in Jamaica, and are helping to coordinate the Starlink installations. So again, a charitable organization brought 200 mobile Starlink, and Starlink gave the government of Jamaica 400 residential. Jamaican government.
All right, stop right here, people. I want to show Jamaica people that he had gotten the Starlink free. Has got the Starlink for free. And I denied the people who are supposed to get benefit. Convert the Starlink now to his personal use, creating false procurement to steal taxpayers' money. That must stop. That must stop. What we want from you, Daryl Vaz, and I know you are listening to me. Come out. Give us the purchase order. Tell me who you purchased them from. This is one of the reasons why the Starlink was not logged into the system of AdPem. Because the intention is to steal the Starlink, convert them through fake procurement for rob taxpayer. Who you think you can fool? Who you think you can fool? Right? So many of us who are talking about this issue don't understand the situation, what really happened with Daryl Vaz is concerned. And then you take your mouth out of this. You're doing an investigation. You're doing an investigative work. You understand how any of this work? Right? You are propagandists. Daryl Vaz need to show 2 set of valid purchase order. Let me tell him. 1, as it relates to the 110 buses. Because we have on your invoice, you only spend $400,000 with the rest of people money them there. With the money them there. And with the bus them there. Now you can come repeat the same action in this. But guess what, people? I am going to show the people that Daryl Vaz has been doing this long time. Long time. Daryl Vaz also with the vlogger Keisha Mack has been carrying out this behavior from God he knows when. And Andrew want us know. Andrew want us know. That's why I say to you, Jamaica, that they utilize so-called direct procurement and emergency procurement. What? Conveniently. When they are going to benefit. They don't use it for the people's benefit. They use it for their benefit. Understand what is going on, Jamaican people. They don't use direct and emergency procurement for the people's benefit. They use it for their benefit. We vote them in to represent us, and they are representing themselves. through the means of illicit enrichment. Get what is happening in Jamaica as it relates to Andrew Owen. This is unprecedented. I know you're looking at me. This is unprecedented. So let me open and expose Daryl Vaz of him corruption, even also with Keisha Mack. Keisha Mack, are you hearing me? Line up yourself. Mystic Sensation is coming at you. Let me come to you now, Daryl Vaz and Keisha Mack. We have some serious criminal in. We have some serious criminal in. Let me show the people them. Let me show the people them. Let me expose them. But you're trying to spin off now. Here it is. This is an audit. Special audit. You know what? Let me increase it. Come on, the people them see it now. Don't play with me around us. Don't play with me, a melting pot. We don't play. Let me show the people them see it. The special audit was conducted during period February 1, March 22nd, 2024, and encompassed the review of records and documents, interview of persons, and inspection of the facilities related to the following areas. Yes, you're under the special audit. Thiefing Daryl Vaz, you're under the special audit. Let us show the people them the methodology of the audit. In undertaking the special audit, the strategies employed include gathering information from key processes owners that are responsible for performing governance, risk, and control activities in the areas reviewed. 2, the relevant policies and procedures document that were made available to us were pursued to understand the process surrounding the auditable activities. 3, identify key risks and related internal controls that exist of the relevant processes. 4, examination of select supporting documents to evaluate the designs and operating effectiveness and efficiency of the process areas reviewed. 5, communicated and confirm observation and improvement opportunities with the process owners. Let us go to the actual audit people. They can't pay us. Here is the actual audit. And where the administration has failed miserably because they were found corrupt to robbing taxpayers' money. Now look at the various criteria. So left, let us look at the criteria. See it? Summary of significant findings and recommendation. Criteria: compliance with Government of Jamaica Corporate Governance Framework and Public Bodies Management Act. May I show the Jamaican people said that you, Daryl Vaz, a long time you breach, and just now you're criminal. And you are there to steal. You are there to steal. You are not giving any representation. All what you are doing is stealing taxpayers' money. We are showing you up now. Here it is. Not met. Right? Criteria. Partially met. Not met. There's a stick. Not met. Look at what done. Look at the condition of it. No corporate secretary appointed. No board minutes not signed by chairman. No board meeting in 3 months. Want to see the criminality? The same thing what the Auditor General find out now, you know. Strategic plan, operational plan, and budget have no evidence of board approval or review. Ineffective board committees. No self-evaluation done for the board. No documented and approved SOP, standard operating procedure, that is. Unauthorized changes to the MOF, right, and prescribed reporting structure. What is the risk? Or they measure the risk? High. Here it is, people. Not low. High. What is the recommendation? The current MBM Board of Directors, in support of good governance, should move with alacrity to what? 1, ensure the board is properly constituted, staffed, and operating effectively. Number 2, perform the self-evaluations annually. Number 3, perform performance evaluation for the general manager annually. Ensure that the SOP, the standard operating procedures, are completed, approved, and implemented. The organizational structure should be returned to the design laid down by the MOF&P. Any future changes should be approved by the MOF&P prior to being implemented. Uno say Daryl Vaz, you understand, doing one thing. Uno say Daryl Vaz, no obeying no farmer laws. Just look for it, people. Now we're going to criteria number 2. Compliance with the FFA Act and instruction regarding the maintenance of government bank accounts. Look for what's going on, people. Partially met, not met. You see it stick, not met. Not met. Look at the condition now. Remember what we are dealing with now. Remember the criteria that we are dealing with now. Compliance with the FFA Act and instruction regarding the maintenance of government bank accounts. You know. Uno look how Daryl Vaz, you understand, treat his entity. Ineffective bank reconciliation control, no control. Unreviewed and undated bank reconciliation. You know, hear that, people? The high level of criminality, inaccurate bank reconciliations. You know, hear that? Inaccurate bank reconciliation. Late lodgement of funds up to 4 years late. You know, hear that, people? No. Why don't you vote for Daryl Vaz? Why don't you vote for Daryl Vaz? Depletion of over 25 million in project funds with no significant projects undertaken. And Daryl Vaz supposed to provide oversight for Keisha Mack, you know. And Keisha Mack, they run this the arm and the manager for this, you know. Keisha Mack, where you see that vlog for the Jamaica Labour Party. Them put Keisha Mack, Daryl Vaz put Keisha Mack, you know. Look for the criminality in the people. This is what Daryl Vaz do. Put Keisha Mack to thief the people their money and him get piece of the money and to get piece of the money. What is the risk? What are the recommendations? 1. Management should ensure the bank reconciliations and all similar controls bear the signature of the preparer and the date of preparation. All should be subject to timely and effective review and should be signed and dated by the reviewer as evidence of same. A separate bank account should be created to prevent commingling and allow for the proper accountability and transparency in this use of project. Now, let me ask a question now. With all of them, are something they're committed, right? Oh, we see the Commissioner of Police and the DPP run go lock up the superintendent. What is the superintendent name again, Melting Pot?
Wayne Cameron.
Oh, the run go lock up Wayne Cameron. Oh, when run go lock up Wayne Cameron. Oh, no, see them something here. Let me ask a question, Commissioner of Police. You know, see this we investigate. Mocha. You know, see this we investigate. Me not call CTOC because them a criminal. CTOC a criminal, so me not put them in this. Mocha, when you see this we investigate. Look how good I'm answer. Compliance with the duty of care per occupational health and safety. Look yourself, all of that breach. See that high risk. See that it's thick, high risk. See the people who watch it now. Dilapidated workshop placing life and property in danger, left unaddressed for over 5 years. And them are people I want to vote for him. And them are people I want to vote for him. Want to see how them have the best interest of art. Want to see how the Jamaica Labour Party have the best interest at art. Want to see that? Dilapidated workshop placing life and property in danger, left unaddressed for over 5 years. What is the risk rating? High. What is the recommendation? Management is encouraged to give due priority to the health and safety of staff and to act in a manner to safeguard the assets of the entity. Keisha Mack, me say if you go to prison. Compliance with the reporting requirement, procurement. Watch it now. People don't look on this and now. 89.5 million in contracts, each exceeding 500,000. Not reported to the OCG Integrity Commission now. You don't hear that, people. So then, when they see Daryl Vaz run out and I talk about, okay, the people need it and so forth, and I take the better option and I will do it again. You do it long time. the fact of the matter is just that the commissioner of police tie up in Andrew Warner's pocket and in your pocket. The commissioner of police will lock you up. Don't forget lock up. A taxpayer for pay back all of this, you know. Every single day on a wicked to taxpayer. Look at the recommendation. It is recommended that management ensure all contracts that exceeded 500,000 is reported to Integrity Commission as per Integrity Commission Act. So you, Daryl Vaz, you breached the act. Now, let me say this. Sister Pamela Monroe, one of the reasons why I'm putting out this, I want you to see this, and I want you to do your investigation as well. They need to be charged. Daryl Vaz and Andrew Wallace need to charge and send to prison. Me don't know what I'm doing in the politics for. Now, me come over. Compliance with FFA Act and instruction regarding the control, receipt, and payment of government funds. When you look at our people, I yes on the bang around there. People, me say, when you look, I yes on the bang. Hey, let me tell you, say, a long time, Daryl Vaz and Keisha Mack are thief taxpayers' money. Daryl Vaz and Keisha Mack, me call you out. Can you dispute it, Daryl Vaz? Long time you are thief people money. Long time you are thief taxpayers' money. Daryl Vaz, you and Keisha Mack. And yet you right, Clark. You right, Clark. You know, look at the corruption of people. Look at the corruption. Well, on there. Let me tell you the corruption. Now, you right, Clark, went into Parliament and big up all of them thieving vloggers, you know. All of them thieving vloggers. Chopper John. You know what? You know where them put Chopper John? For chop taxpayers' money. They put Chopper John as it relates to the Western Children Hospital. As what? Project manager. Chopper John is not certified in the people. And that's what Chopper John end up in. They pay millions of dollars taxpayers' money here. Eh? Christopher Tufton send Chopper John for steal taxpayers' money. Now, not only Chopper John, you know. See them take Keisha Mack, because Chopper John have vlog for them, and Keisha Mack have vlog for them. And Keisha Mack can manage this place, you know, people who are telling about it. A man to go be a Methodist, you know. Where Keisha Mack, they manage, you know. Eh?
Damage.
Oh, yeah, let me correct my word. A man to go be a Methodist, you know, where Keisha Mack are damaged, you know. Look at now. Compliance with FFA Act and instruction regarding the control, receipt, and payment of government funds. You know, look what Keisha Mack do with it. Look what Keisha Mack and Daryl Vaz do with it, and Andrew Warnes. Keisha Mack, Daryl Vaz, and Andrew Warnes. Look what them do with it. Payments made without purchase order. You know, you hear that, people? Payment made without purchase order. Where does that strike a card right now? Remember I couldn't see it, you know. Payment made without purchase order. Does that strike a card? Daryl Vaz, when it's purchase order for the Starlink. Daryl Vaz, you are showing your criminality in this. And I link you in terms of the criminality, what you're still continuing to do. See the thing where you breach yourself. And this not nothing for Starlink. You're going to show the people of your pattern of behavior. You and Keisha Mack, see that? Payment made without purchase order. People want to see it for themselves, you know. Want to see it for themselves. Now, when you look at this now, 2.5.4, missing payment, you understand, from the general ledger, you know. GL means general ledger. Missing payment, you know. Untraceable. Hey, Jamaica people, listen to me. Hey, look here, man. You know what? Let me just hold it for you, yeah. 2.510, payment requisition process without signature, you know, of the general manager, you know. You know, hear that, people? 3 accounts. 25 accounting officer, 185. Mighty goodness, man. Unnecessary for taxpayers, unnecessary for Jamaican people. I saw no represent you. Hey, so Big Mama, NNN, and them are something I don't want to defend. Let me ask NNN something. I really, them are something a real drunker. We now go further. Me name the bad take on. No, not a real drunker over there. No, not drunker over there. 2.5.11 deductions taken from staff for cash shortages reimbursed to them through petty cash. You know what this some people? Nearly 2 million in unapproved charters, 50% of all charters. 2.7.1, 33% of deposit slips, totaling 2.6 million missing second carbonated signature. Keisha Mac alone just got some pop, sign off. No approval, no way. You understand? She eat a food, Daryl Vaz eat a food, and Andrew eat a food. Short lodgement of collection, late lodgement of collection, pattern of late non-recovery of shortages. You understand? 113 days to 3 years. You know? 500,000 in unverified root collections over 2 months. You know, you don't hear that, people? Hey, Papa! 500,000 in unverified root collections over 2 months. You know, people. Here the recommendation. I want to know why you continue to make recommendation to them. A prison them for going on. What can I recommend? A prison. Calling the police and send them a prison.
Definitely.
Management should ensure that the existing controls and regulations surrounding the handling of public funds are consistently adhered to. Responsible officers should also be held accountable for non-compliance. They are to go to prison, my dear. Prison, let me take away this. Now, Melting Pot, I haven't heard you from the longest while now, going 2 years. What say you on the matter?
Well, you know where I stand on this matter, but I'm going to talk to the people in regard to this matter. This matter contains a lot of breaches, yeah, and high risk in regards to compliance with the FAA Act. None of that not making up. So you know, so everything now, them breach it, and what you get from the breachment, high risk. Yeah, because when you, Daryl Vaz, yeah, recruit Keisha Mac, yeah, I remember Keisha Mac put up her resume, and her resume have nothing that would qualify her for this post at the Western Metro. You understand? And so Keisha Mac could never come in as a management, but as a damagement to that entity. Right? And people, this just paint a bad picture on how every sector in Jamaica run. Them a breach procurement. Them a breach duty of care in regard to health and safety. You see where receipt of payment of government funds, them breach that, no signature, nothing. Yeah. So that can be an entity we are run with checks and balance and transparency. No. That's an entity that Keisha Mac was sent deliberately to damage, not manage. And so the demolition construction team is Andrew Holness, Daryl Vaz, and Keisha Mac. And people, Daryl Pumbaz realize you know, we're going to them vault and have this thing and wipe it off of the jam portal. Can't find this, you know. So we have to keep this now as something treasured round your sock. Daryl Pumbaz, your head must have hurt your mistake put up back this to the don't. Because you know you score the thing, you know, you get this off by the system, you know.
Yeah.
Melting pot of it, man. And you know, from melting pot of it, Byron have it.
All right.
The Titans have it.
Let them know.
So, nobody worry yourself. Yeah. You can't clean nothing, you know. Yeah, we do forensic and we find footprints same way. That's all me have to tell you. Now, my Jamaican people, we have seen Daryl Vaz carry out several corruption in regards to him don't have no farmer purchasing order to supplement what him has said in regards to auditing finding. Yeah, when Pumvaz thing them dash out there, him high level of corruption and theft, and him a try to defend himself. You notice him can't show no purchasing order. Him not have nothing to show, Then how you spend money? Money come with a thing called invoice and purchasing order. Those two things are what protect when you spend funds on item. Pumvaz have them thing there. And Pumvaz always use a certain method, like him sorry for the people. No, Pumvaz not sorry for nobody in Jamaica. From Pumvaz, a young boy, I'm not sorry for nobody. Let me tell you no. So Pumvaz now go sorry for you now. It that not in DNA. What Pumvaz do is rob from every taxpayers in Jamaica. And we are tell Pumvaz it have to stop. Pumvaz sell property, belong to the state, Devalue it to a vast amount of million and go collect the money in an installment. In a manor yard, Adlisha. The last amount them go for is 140 million US of Mexico. This guy is a criminal. And Jamaica people don't have to understand Pumvaz to who him is. Him is not a member of parliament. Him is not a politician. Him is just a plain criminal. Masquerading as a politician. Yeah. Using the same voters' rights to put him where he is. But end up turning around, stealing from the voters. This is why Jamaican voters can benefit from election process because on the road mash up. Yeah. We don't have no school in our community. We don't have no bus shed again. Yeah, on the sidewalk gone. Everything in a shamble, hospital gone. This is where a corrupt administration put on the table. Can't put not more, Because if him take away all of the big table settings, and the crumbs are going to left with who come. Crumbs. The entire Jamaica Labour Party is administrating on this line of corruption by means of stealing from the taxpayers, by means of putting in certain gadgeted things that they come up with amongst themselves, like no procurement, no have not to trace, send the fool them a little further. Pumvaz, no fool around here, so you can't send me nowhere, We are still right now with hot seat and fling out your corruption them. So we are tell the Auditor General them say, down at Jamaica, just tune in, man. Tune in to alone some of that mystic, man. With melting pot in the background. You get everything where you want. Everything where you want. We have them around here. You understand? So, them people must be arrested and sent to prison. The same mechanism that was dealt out to Wayne Cameron must go for these people, Keisha Mack alike. Keisha Mack was placed down by the Metro in Montego Bay, not as a management, but as a damagement to the system. And the same farmer mechanism it are used in the transport center at Harper Tree. That's why you see that gone way out of line to the tune of several $billion in debt. An entity that was running very proficient with a capacity of over 400 buses, watered down now to less than 50%. And in terms of revenue, there's none. There is none. But they themselves come out and speak highly at the performance of the sector and the minister. But yet still, when you look into details, you see that the sector is not performing well and the minister doesn't do anything in terms of recognition to get accreditation. His ministry is a failing ministry. And it has failed the taxpayers by several billions of dollars. Yeah? And it's no fault of the system. It's the people that they put to run the system. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
Wonderful, wonderful melting pot, right? You know, we journey, right, as it relates to fighting for good governance. I want to use this time because we have 20 minutes to wrap up this program. I want to use this time for callers to call in. So I'm open the phone line for callers. Remember, melting pot, we are here to take all the calls. So please, people, call in time, right? Call us and talk to us. Yes, melting pot. As we talk about Daryl Vaz and his level of criminality, his MO, modus operandi. Whenever he's involved in his pilfering, right, you realize he goes out and he pleads this sort of pity party. You understand? Acting as if he's trying to help people, but he's helping his pocket. Right? The same behavior that he carried out as it relates to the school bus. The very same behavior, right, that it is just his MO, right? He has been doing this for God, he knows when. And that's why we went back as it relates to the situation with Teacher Mark, right? Now, and look what Teacher Mark had done. Damage the Montego Bay Metro, right? Damage the Montego Bay Metro. So it is a very serious situation where that is concerned, melting pot. But Jamaicans, let me say this. We have to come to our sense of realization. And we can all, right, serve some sense of introspection in terms of what do we want? Okay, the cards are coming in. Love that. Love that. Yes, my sister. Go ahead. Chop it.
Good evening again.
Blessings.
Question. And school me then.
All right.
How long it take you, but if an extradition come be a person or persons, how long it take the local government to turn them over to the authorities? And what procedure? What is the procedure?
You know, see, I love that question. Very, very good question. I love that question, Sister Pan. No, good question. No. All right. Let me give you an example. An extradition that put out, it will normally process through the DPP, right, or the Attorney General, right? Those are the persons who will get it. Now, the government being informed, right, where is a situation may involve members of parliament or, for argument's sake, entities that the government may link with, right? The government may want to fight that extradition in terms of delaying the process. Now, let me give you a perfect example how they can delay the process. Now, say for argument's sake that as it relates to the charges of that go against Hugh Craskerry, right? As it relates to SSL situation. Now, that situation, as it relates to the wiring of money, would have very much hit the Swiss system. Now, this is one of the reasons why I strongly telling Jamaican people that the possibility exists that he is on the extradition list, Hugh Craskerry. So what they do now was to hurry up and charge him. So that means he has a court as it relates to the country that the United States, right, requesting the extradition based on the agreement. So if he has a court case in Jamaica, they could tie it up and play as long as possible, as maybe 3-4 years going. The strategy in that is that, okay, it could be a situation where they try to use diplomacy, right, and try to, deal with it otherwise. But the United States being adamant, they have to get them. So either United States is going to wait on the court, because where you have a court proceedings, you can't break the court proceedings and send and extradite them. You can't do that. Right? That is what in the memorandum. You can't do that. So I am suspecting, that rushing to charge them now, because remember, we have been time with this for God he knows when, and they did not charge them. They try to, as a matter of fact, they try to save them because of the JLP involvement in SSL. Nigel Clark even lied to us that FBI is going to involve. Right? They even go and get Kroll. Kroll investigated and found that people need to be charged. The DPP is sat on it. The DPP is sat on it. So, yes. So, all right. If you notice now with the situation, let me just go back to Dudus now so one can understand. They try to fight the extradition, with Dudus, But the United States was adamant that they wanted him. And so then...
So now, if the United States adamant to them want them people out there, they have to get them, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Somewhere, some far.
Oh, of course. Because, all right, you are going to see United States start to apply certain pressure. Visa cancellation, right, which start to happen. Indication of pressure as a result of them not wanting to, you understand, process, right, the extradition, because here we're going, it's going to bring an embarrassment to the government, and they know it. They know it. So even the changes, what you see that the commissioner is making as it relates to CTOC and dismantling that situation, all of that pertaining to backdoor conversation between them and the United States, and instruction being given and that what they have to carry out and follow.
So I'm to Dr. Crab.
You see what I say? Sister P, you ask some solid question, What happened to Dr. Crab? Right? Dr. Crab is such case, and since you asked what happened to Dr. Crab, this is what Andrew Honest is doing, Because Dr. Crab, out of the situation, the government is not coming clear to the Jamaican people. So if you need to run a by-election need to be run. If Dr. Crab is not, you understand, as a result, I don't know the backdoor dealings between them and United States, and extradition and all of that. But for argument's sake, right, if that is the situation and Dr. Crab out of the politics for complete good, and they are using deflection of to say that he's sick and he's this and he's that, right, to avoid also a by-election, because a by-election, right, will also now increase the People's National Party to 29 and reduce them to 34. And remember that investigation that is hanging over them head. Remember, me tell you, remember one Jamaican people and me one sister part. Me now go beyond 2026, 2026, at 2026 we are get them out, Do you hear what me say, sister Pratt? Well, look, they are going to be prosecuted out of power.
Me I say mistake. I remember early days of politics. If a member of parliament, anybody, we are public servants, mostly in the parliament to a high bank people, whatever.
Yes.
If they are sick, somebody always come and report to you, say, John Brown, Mary J. sick,
Yes.
and they will be out of office because of whatever. During that time, they will come and give you an update on that person or those persons. Give the country, say, your minister, he have done a procedure, and so on. So even him, one thing can talk, he would have come and say a thing. Them time they would have no internet so big like now, but in a year over news him a talk and then tape him and play him over the news. And he said, or she said, so and so I am at home getting rest, and my doctor have said this and said that. Nothing you know here from the person where taxpayer pay. What kind of foolish is that?
Exactly.
So me I call upon Mr. Rubio to come quick, man. Because the country stagnant.
Exactly.
The country needs to grow. The country stagnant. Me no business nobody wanna say no. Me live here, me I feel it. The country stagnant.
Yeah, them can't go and talk, you know.
When you have stagnant water, back up a ringworm and all type of disease are gonna break out.
Them can't go and talk.
So you don't need to do something.
You want different Andronas, right?
Well, me glad for the update and the education.
Yes, sister.
But we are call up for the youth and the authority. We don't come do something.
Of course.
The place want clean up. It can't continue like this.
And this is it. This is it. Because of the country so fully compromised. We don't know how much that they are selling us out in terms of our sovereignty. How much of our lands that they're willing to give. What sort of deal they might make with America? Because they have been caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Right? Here Unique here said something on the live here. Mystic Sensation, my question. Can anyone purchase buses and cannot show the receipt for 1.4 billion? It's either he thief the buses or him get them free. But how that happened? No, but guess what? Unicrea, you are seeing resemblance of the Starlink. You understand? He had gotten the Starlink free and he's now creating some procurement process to steal the money. And the very same thing he did with the bus. So I'm glad how Unicrea. You understand? Make mention of that. You understand as it relates to the criminality. Now we want to, that's why I said Unicrea. We need to see two items. We need to see the full purchasing order, the full receipt on the 110 bus. And we also need to see the receipt as it relates to the Starlink. Because, trust me, you understand? What happened is that is the same Starlink that we had gotten, you understand, him take out now and want to convert them into cash using procurement, direct procurement, and emergency procurement. Sorry. Yes.
The next thing, the Prime Minister said, I am sit for the security minister. So what happened in the JCF? Him supposed to have an oversight or something. After all them my disgrace have come out and drugs, fine and terror. You know, the Prime Minister come out because him act for the security minister.
Well,
so him supposed to have knowledge of what happened.
Well, the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister can't come out and speak against drugs strongly, right? Or denounce drugs operation strongly. Let me just say it. I don't know if the Prime Minister is benefiting from drugs, you know. Let me just say that out there. I don't accuse the Prime Minister, you know. I say, I don't know if the Prime Minister benefits from any drugs out there. Why he can't come out and denounce drugs strongly. So, yes, go ahead, Sister P.
Yeah, so those are the things where I batter the country. And me tell you, this drugs thing, it have a rippling effect on Jamaica. We are suffer. We went out without even knowing it. I suffer through it. Because look now, if you want to come from foreign, come down here.
Yes.
Make a run.
All right.
You can't no.
Okay.
People in America. You can't give them one little hacky. You can't give them two patty. Then work in a pool and everything and carry their money come give you. Can't want shoes, one frock come give you.
Can you
imagine?
imagine?
Want compensate them by giving them something.
Exactly. All right. Sister P, Sister P, we have 6 more minutes left. Let me just try to spread it towards other people. Yes. All right. Thank you, Sister P. Love you. All right. Other person who not calling, so you can call in now. All right. Call us back. Sister P. Completed. We have 6 more minutes. Call us back for the persons who were just calling. Oh my goodness, what may I do with it?
You know, Sister P make a relevant point, you know. But we don't hear from Crab, him not gonna update. But Big Mama give an update. Big Mama at least give an update. Yeah. The Crab supposed to come tell the people them what really up to him. But not now to Crab in the people. Crab get nervous from the extradition paper land in the country. Hide him and hide.
It look like him hide from the extradition?
Yes, man. It look like him hide from the extradition.
So let me say, for persons who had called and didn't get me, you can call now. The line is free.
Yeah, Crab really hide, man. You know, and the whole fact of the matter, and I mean, you know, it's a disgrace. Andrew Wellness.
All right, Pat. Caller, come in. Take the call. Yes, caller, you're live on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Mystic, I want to bring something to your attention.
Blessings, my brother. Go ahead.
You see this blessings to you and blessings to the man from London. You see this thing with Dr. Crab?
Yes.
Remember, you know, the JLP government pull this one out. The same thing they're pulling is the same thing they do with Mike Enrino.
Yes.
I know we don't have a competency test with Mike Enrino and the man can't speak, can't walk. Right? And next thing I want to bring to your attention is this. One time they did a study in Jamaica and they find out, say, majority of money that was issued went to consultancy firm. That's when every politician was having a consultancy firm and getting money. 80% they say went to consultancy firm and 20% went to the project. Right? This is what we need to realize. How long we gonna let these people tell us that procurement not working when we could see companies like Pinnacle come in, them not carry the land from foreign with them, you know. All the license them with them have to pull come through the government. And every time you can see when a company from outside building something, the finishing time. How can we be all the time talking about emergency procurement when things are not happening right now?
Very solid.
That's not even possible. And then this is the next thing. How long we going to allow the Jamaica Labour Party to keep recycling this same excuse where every time somebody don't do the appropriation account at the end of the year, every time people are telling us that somebody didn't sign off on documents. There's nowhere else in the world, Mystic, you could go, or even a bank in Jamaica, where you can have somebody purchase something, and then 2 months after, they might write up the purchase order. Anywhere you put that in the court system, that tells you that something is wrong. But you know what is wrong, Mystic? And it's up to the Jamaican people. The Auditor General can investigate all she wants and bring all the evidence. The only thing we will hear is that there will be an investigation. If it even go as far as to say there will be a chargeback, they've allowed the time to run out and don't charge back these people. So let me tell you something, Mystic. America is not going to help us unless it's something that's detrimental to their country and they want the person. The Jamaican people have to help themselves.
Agreed.
They have to stand up, Mystic.
Solid argument.
These people are bare-faced. When I say bare-faced, it don't matter how the evidence stack up, Mystic. It don't matter how the evidence stack up. These people rather have the case and you don't get no update or nothing happened. Nothing is happening. You see in this case with Andrew Wallace, Mystic, let me tell you something what they're going to do. Before this, remember, you know, when Vice Cartel case was to go to the Privy Council, they delay. What do you think happened to Andrew Wallace case? This is delay tactics.
But Carla, Carla, you know what is going to happen again? Remember now that we're gone in year 2026, you know. And remember that the statutory declaration, right, is going to be requested for as it relates to Andrew Owen's statutory declaration and Mark Golding's statutory declaration. Now, I am going to be here, and we are going to see that when it comes out, right? Are we going to allow Andrew Owen and his administration to continue governance without going four consecutive years without the statutory declaration being certified?
But Mystic, this is what I'm saying to you. I've gone through the years already, because if the man not certified 2-3 years, and you have 24-25, right? Or 23-24, and he not certified, and you have the powers that be, they not get the man for even tax evasion. Mystic, if you want to know the type of country we live in Mystic, in Jamaica, when you see somebody like Andrew Wheatley can stand up and say to the Jamaican people that people should get 25 years for cybercrime, when the only thing they put in for politicians, which we have had so many people being accused and the evidence stack up, is that they should be asked to resign. That tells us the country we're in Mystic. We should not be here today where Andrew Holness is even in office. But the powers that be are not investigating. They're not locking up Andrew Holness. And until the people them stand up, it rests with the people. It rests with the people. You see, even this thing with CTOC, and them say them are disband CTOC, I call you and I said you already Mystic. Or when we have a jail grave, we have the man who in charge of the station, and then just moving from one place to another. The same thing.
Exactly.
No different.
Because they are just transferring the criminals all over the place.
Yes, you have cocaine missing, and you are telling me the man where they found you to run the guard house, him not gone. The man who in charge of the station, him not gone to jail. That tells us what's going on. There is no accountability. Everything that we're seeing, Mystic, it has been running for a long time. When you see him nationwide, how can a company who $1 billion and they are allowed to murder?
But the question that you need to ask, or you have a system in place and there's no audit that monitor daily operation where that is concerned.
Mystic, there are systems in place, Mystic, because you have other people since nationwide who are less than nationwide who have been hauled before the tax code. They have been hauled before the tax code. So it tells you that they are systems. What they should tell us is, as a Jamaican, we should look and notice when we have the thing up a UWI, and we see every time we see the same thing. When the board not going to the minister dissolve the board and put in his own board. It's no different than what happened with Keisha Mack. They dissolve the board and put in Keisha Mack. And even after all the discrepancy, the minister never faced the music.
Yes.
And it's the same thing happened with you. The minister never faced the music.
Yeah.
It's the same thing happened with the SSL. They dissolve the board, and when Nigel never faced the music. No accountability. Every time we see that people get rewarded and transferred, and then the next part of the problem, this is what the PNP need to do. If somebody is not qualified for a job,
all right, all right, brother. Let me give you a minute, because my 3 minutes over the time. I'm have to go to the barber. So let me give you a minute if you finish up. Come here for run out.
This is the last thing, Mystic.
Yes.
I'm saying to the Jamaican people, who no underground, who not feel the pressure, who no stand up, who no right. Because let me tell you something. It going to come a fool no door. Who for do it no reach yet, it going to come a fool no door. And all the laws that are put in place to impact is going to impact you more than the rich man. The rich man now if fly out, and come America, them can't live in their own bubble. They take where the whole of the each is from,
Exactly.
All the nice part. The next thing we're left for them do, they're not Sentinels, but they have no plan to redevelop Sentinels. So all around them who get washed, who don't know see that waterfront. That's my 2 cents.
All right. Well said. Well said. Right. Quite impactful. Right? Thank you, caller. Right? Blessings. Now, you hear that from our passionate caller, right? Serious concerns, right? And, you know, let me just answer Unicre here, and then we close off, because, you know, we have to try to do the barber, then to come back on Titans. Now, all right, Mystic Sensation, but my question, so if Kevin Blake is a citizen of USA, or is he a commissioner in Jamaica? All right, let me answer the first question. He can be a commissioner of Jamaica because he carry what we call a dual citizenship, right? He has not relinquished his citizenship of Jamaica. So yes. Now that doesn't work as him holding dual citizenship if he wants to go or be a member of parliament. That's a different thing. All right, but he can be the commissioner of police, right? Yeah. So the next part of your question. What about Michelle Charles' issue also? Well, very good question. Michelle Charles' situation is a criminal situation, and it's simple, Unicre, right? If Kevin Blake, right, was doing his job, right, or Mocha, you understand, as Mr. Minar called CTOC, because I'm criminal, or Mocha was doing its job, it simply means they would have arrested Michelle Charles. Michelle Charles needs to be arrested, right? Michelle Charles need to be arrested because what Michelle Charles had simply committed is larceny as a servant. Just like how they rushed what name again? Senior Superintendent
Wayne Cameron.
Just like, right, the very same charge, similar charge. Michelle Charles had committed this similar situation, larceny as a servant, and she should be charged, right? So it goes to show you the level of biasness. You understand? What Michelle Charles has done is simply a criminal act. You know that, Michelle Charles, that what you have done is larceny of a servant, and you should be charged and processed in the judiciary. Now, my folks, you understand, we have to close the show. Once again, I want to say big thanks to you all to make it Mystic Sensation, right? And we're always happy to have you here. Melting Pot, big up yourself. Later will be greater. All right, people. So make sure. So I'm going to run out to the barber shop right now, people. And then guess what? Forward for Titans later. Don't miss that. All right, Melting Pot, salute. Blessings, my brother. Guidance.
Once again. Yes.
All right, I'm out.
So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.